Yeah, there were some really exciting fights earlier on. Did you feel like there was a bit of a lull at the end and that the fans kind of walked away with the air taken out of the building?
No, it's there was a lot of booing and a lot of people going, whether they thought Wonder Boy won or they just didn't like Tyron and wanted to boo him. I don't know, but they got a good night of fights. There's nothing to be disappointed about tonight.
What did you say to Josh Donaldson when you were standing next to him?
This wasn't a Brooklyn fiasco. What did I say to who?
To Josh Donaldson in the cage.
Oh, he came up and apparently he had wanted to put the belt on Wonder Boy if he won. They're really good friends, and I was going to let him do it.
How'd you score the fight, Dan?
I had it 3-2.
Who?
Yeah, 3-2 Woodley. 3-2 Wonder Boy.
Why did you see it that way?
You didn't see it that way? Is that what you said?
No, I said, why did you see it that way?
Oh, I scored each round, and that's the number I came up with at the end of the 5. But one of the judges gave Woodley a 10-8 round in the last round, which is absolutely insane. But here's the thing, man. You know what? I tell these guys all the time, don't leave it in the hands of the judges. And they both did that tonight, and Woodley came out on top.
Were you concerned there was going to be an unprecedented second straight draw in this fight?
No, listen, going up into that fight, I absolutely had no doubts in my mind it wasn't a draw. And then when they started calling the split and goofy numbers started coming out, I was like, wait, what? But, hey, that's it, man. At the end of the day, I'm not a judge. The fans aren't judges. The judges are there to score the fight. They did, and Woodley won. So Woodley's the champ, and that's the way it goes.
It's been a weird couple of days for you. With Overeem giving you a call at 0 hour that he wasn't feeling well, what's going through your brain?
I was just like, so he calls, he's going through all this stuff, and it was touch and go, man. 1 minute it looked like he was good, then he was back in the hospital again, and it was looking like it wasn't going to happen. Then we get a call that DirecTV's pay-per-view is down. The pay-per-view system is down and might not be up at the end of the night. I was just like, I just give up now. I don't even know what to do,
After an event like this, what are the positives that you can take away? Dealing with stuff like this under pressure, just dealing with Overeem getting sick.
Yeah, that's this business. We're dealing with human beings, and this is a crazy business, man. If you look at the things that we've been able to pull off over the last 16, 17 years, it's pretty crazy. But we got a great team. We got good depth in all of our weight classes. So, I'll give you an example. Michael Johnson was ready to fight, wanted to fight Tony Ferguson. The athletic commission was willing to work with us to try to make this happen. The medical team was going to get everything done and that needed to be done. So it's just a testament to the guys. And obviously Tony Ferguson didn't want to fight Michael Johnson. You guys have seen glimpses of what happens when guys hear that the fight is off. You saw Cormier one time on one of the embedded episodes, but Tony Ferguson was one of the worst I've ever seen. He was devastated. So in no way, shape, or form would I expect him to take the fight. My point was just, we pull off some pretty amazing stuff sometimes.
With everything that's been going on with Mark Hunt, with the lawsuit and all of that, has it been awkward having him around this week and having him talk to the media about his issues, airing of grievances, etc.?
Not at all. I mean, I'm one of those guys. Look at the stuff that Woodley says all the time, and this guy and that guy. I got 500 people that I have to try to make happy, and you can't make them happy. Everybody, Hunt has his opinions or views on this whole thing, and the rest of the world has theirs. I never care about guys speaking their mind and saying how they feel. Nothing wrong with that. It's a free country.
Do you have a message? Do you have a message for the fans that were booing? I know you like to talk to the fans.
Listen. You want to boo? You're sitting up there drinking your beer and eating your popcorn. Get in there with Tyron Woodley. Get in there with Wonder Boy Thompson. Shut up. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. You guys just saw an amazing night of fights, and these guys are in there. A lot's on the line when guys go in and fight. There's a lot on the line, and listen, that was the strategy they came in with. Is it a crowd pleaser? No, it's not. But it is what it is. You just saw 10 great fights. Relax.
Next week we have a UFC in Brazil.
Listen, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
When I was in Brooklyn.
Are you yelling at me?
When I was in Brooklyn, 17 years I've been doing this, right? Never once is that. I was standing in there. People were yelling, Dana White, you. People were yelling at me in Brooklyn. They had a reason to be pissed. Everybody asked me what was the highlight of the night. I said, me getting on the plane and flying home. That's the highlight. So, listen, I know when we put on good shows, and I know when we put on bad shows. Tonight was far from a bad show.
Do you think one of the reasons why the fans see the contrast in a fight like the Elkins fight, where there's damage and there's blood and there's a comeback victory, and then you have a technical battle over 25 minutes? I think it might be confusing for a lot of people.
Nah, it's not confusing. Listen, not every fight you go to is going to be a knockdown, drag-em-out brawl. But every fight here tonight was, except for the main event. I mean, every fight tonight was a great fight. Guys were going for it and just toe-to-toe battling. Guys are getting absolutely destroyed and have these amazing, comebacks and win the fight. I mean, everything you want when you go to a fight or when you turn on your TV and buy a fight, you got tonight. Yeah, the main event wasn't the best title fight you've ever seen, but come on, give me a break.
You subtly dropped yesterday that there's going to be a tour with GSP in Bisping in Canada. When can we expect that? I'm sure Canadians would love to be in the presence of the great George St. Pierre.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure it out. First of all, we got to get a date. Once I get the date set, the date and where it is, if it ends up being here in Vegas, like I want to, then we'll figure it out and get out on the road and have some fun.
And then next week we have an UFC in Brazil with Vitor Belfort and Kelvin Gastelum in the main event.
Great fight.
But which fight in the card interests you most? Do you see like with the good eyes most?
Listen, Vitor Belfort is always fun and exciting to watch. He's dangerous. If you look at Kelvin Gastelum, how he's looked in his last couple of fights and what he's been able to do, I love that fight. Imagine if Kelvin Gastelum can knock off Vitor Belfort, right? Or can Vitor Belfort beat Kelvin Gastelum and reinvigorate his career?
Daniel Cormier tweeted that he'd like to see Khabib and Ferguson rebooked for UFC 210 and be the co-main event on his card. Is there any shot of that happening?
I'd never say never, but we got to see medically where Khabib is and can he make the weight?
Who's Ngannou fighting next?
I'm working on that. I have something planned for him this summer.